Okay, so this is the beginning of lesson 6, and in the previous lesson we had recoded our 01679 kind of format into these just zeros and ones and system missings. These are correct, and what we're ready to do now is we're ready to invert our variables that votes that need to be inverted. So again, after we do this step, I think it's important that we go up here and save again. So I'm going to save as, and I'm going to save this to my desktop. You save it to your H drive or wherever else, but I'm going to save this one as data version 004 or 003. And at this point, I've got all of this information out here, and it's all in zeros and ones. Now, I know some of these need to be inverted because that's what I did in the coding process. And so let's go pull up that sheet again. This sheet has out here whether it was a poison pill, unfriendly, friendly, unfriendly, or the final passage vote wasn't really recoded as a strategy. But I know that I need to invert some of these and not others. And so if I look at my list of, 15, 16 votes, there's only one, and that is version variable 536 can stay the same. So I'm going to write that one down, B536. And variable 549, the final passage vote, can stay the same as well. The rest of these need to be inverted, and so I'm going to do that process now. I'm going to use just the same old process that we did before. We're going to use that transform and recode function. So let's pull this thing up. I'm going to go into transform, recode in the same variables. And here I'm going to reset everything because this is the most important step. And if you get this one messed up, then again, you got to start over. So you don't want to do that. So let's go to, we need to keep 536. And 549. So these two were the ones that identified that didn't need to be inverted. All the rest of them need to be inverted. So I've got the one selected that I need to change. Watch what I do here, and you have to do both of these steps together because if you don't, it'll really mess you up. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is I need to take values that were 0, that was votes against or present votes, and change that to a 1 position. And I need to change 1 values that were I's and change that into zeros. Right? So simply we just reversed 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. But if you look at this, you understand why you have to do them together. If you did 0, 1 step, then everything's going to be 1, and you'll lose all the data. Make sure that you put both of these commands in the same window and run them at the same time. If you don't, you have that previous version you just saved. You can revert to that and retry again. Okay. Click OK. All right. And so now what we need to do is we need to run one more command check, and that was, if we go back to this variable or this spreadsheet, the very last thing that I had you do was put in the check, create a check number. So this was going to be 249, 377, 240, etc. So this is just simply the number of positions that should be supporting the bill after we have everything recoded. And so I'm going to show you a quick way to do that and do this calculation. Okay. I'm going to do quickly tools, analyze reports, case summaries. I'm going to do all of my variables. I'm going to move them over. I'm going to lose this display cases things. And the statistics I'm going to do is get rid of that one. I'm going to add in the sum. So what I'm going to do is I'm asking it to run a report where they go through and they just add up all the observations on those variables together. And if I click that, so statistics are going to be sum. I asked it to run all my variables, and I'm going to click OK. And down here, you're going to see this particular report will come out. And so if I compare this to my original spreadsheet, it will line up exactly. Okay. So you can, one of the things that you can do here is, let me go back to the output. We want to do this one real quick, so we'll do File, Print. Actually, should be able to print this, print preview, and it'll just run it, and you can check it. And so it'll be 249, 377, 240, all those across, and we'll check it, and that should match up to your macro sheet. Okay, good. And again, I'll check those to make sure that you're aligning it once you have your variables recoded. Okay, good. Now we are basically at the point where we can run the dependent variable calculation, and that'll be it for the dependent variable.